Yo, T. Yo, listen, for today's episode, right, we're not doing any introductions. We're not doing the intro song to set the mood and all that. Today, we're going to go straight into it. We're going to go straight into something a little heavy, a little something that I've been thinking about. So
you're not doing an intro, but you've just done an intro.
I know, but it's not like the welcome to the podcast, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we're going to go straight into something heavy. I've had a massive epiphany recently, and I wanted to share it with you and get your take on it. A couple of weeks ago, I was invited to, I guess you can call it like a party. I don't know. Yeah, let's just call it a party.
Gathering.
It wasn't really a gathering. I think it was more of a party. And it was one of those ones where everyone dresses like over the top, all the branded stuff like Gucci's and Louis and Balmain's and all that. People are wearing the best stuff just to kind of go and show like, yeah, I'm here. Like, I'm somebody. It was like one of those. It's one of those places, right? And it was like quite a high-end.
What parties are you going to, bro?
Next time I'll invite you, bro. But honestly, I'll be honest with you. I didn't have a good time there. So if you want to come check it out next time, like, I'm happy to take you. It was one of those, yeah, everyone's dressed up, right? Over the top, the best stuff. One of those ones where people are just like, yeah, look at me. Like, I'm something as well. Even though if they might not be, but they still pretended. And I'll be honest with you.
I can't lie to you.
Go on.
I can't lie to you. I haven't been to those kind of parties. I need that invite just to experience it.
All right, next time around, I go to it because the people who hosted it, they want to make it into this kind of like a recurring, ongoing thing. So next time it happens, I'll tell you and come, let's go. So basically, I'm not going to lie, like, I did exactly the same thing, right? Yo, bro, like, I was designered up top to bottom, right? Balmain. I was wearing, like, my Louis shades. I had, like, Balmain top on, Gucci trainers, like, Gucci jeans and stuff. Like, I was fully, like, designered up top to bottom. And then I went there. Like, the party was whatever, but when I was sitting there, right, looking at everyone, I had this epiphany, bro. I think you can apply it to more than just clothes, but we'll take, like, designer clothes as an example. Designer clothes only look good on other people and not yourself. And what I mean by that is, right, because, like, I was looking around at the people sitting next to me and stuff, and I was just like, yo, this dude's got like a 2K jacket on, and this dude's got like this on, and he's got that on. And then I thought to myself, like, yo, but I've got this expensive stuff on as well. But that didn't make any difference to me, or it didn't mean anything to me. I could be sitting there wearing Nikes, right, or Adidas, or I could be sitting there wearing a tracksuit, and I would have felt exactly the same. But when you look at that stuff on other people, it has a lot more value to it. But then when you're wearing it yourself, it actually doesn't make any bit of difference.
I see what you mean. How is this an epiphany? That's my question.
Because before, like, how everyone chases that thing, right, where they're like, oh, I want to buy that Louis this, I want to buy Gucci that. But the fact is, we're all chasing it to look good in other people's eyes. But when you wear it yourself, it actually doesn't mean anything.
It depends who you are, but sometimes people do things for how...
Everyone does it, bro. It's not just sometimes. Hey, everyone does it, bro. No?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I think the example that you provided, though, which is like the high-end designer stuff, I can't lie to you, bro, that's outside of my tax bracket.
Again, you're just cheap. It's not outside your tax bracket, you're just cheap.
It's way outside my tax bracket. But I've got such, not the same story, but like the opposite. So what I started doing is started going into vintage / charity.
You're just gonna make me look bad on you because I just talked about like designer top to bottom, and you're just gonna pull up I went to the charity shop to help them out.
I'm telling you, bro. Like they've got they've got some high end stuff, right, or some high quality stuff at very low prices. So depending on where you go, you can get the nicest thing, like high quality material, for pretty much not even half of the price, but like a quarter of the price. I just went this morning, actually. It's funny you bring that past this charity shop, and there's a pair of trainers I was looking at on ASOS, and they were quite expensive. I was like, oh, I can't do that.
Right, what's quite expensive?
Like £90 trainers.
Okay, yeah.
But that's quite expensive. For me, that's expensive.
They're not, man.
Because I'm just a cheap guy. So I was like, so I saw them.
Bro,
nice I don't £20.
I don't mean to cut you off there. You said £90 is expensive, but like if you go on, say, JD Sports or Foot Locker, like you get normal Adidas or like Nike trainers for $120, $130.
Bro, I genuinely find that stuff expensive. I'm sweating. If I spend £100 on a pair of trainers, I'm sweating. I'm like, this trainer
Like,
pair would be
that's
nice.
the normal price now. Yeah, I know, like, back in 2006, they were like 50, 60, but like £100 is the normal price now.
I wait till they go on sale. I'm like, okay, cool, it's time to buy it. If I really like something, I'll keep an eye out for it for like months. And when it goes on sale, that's when I buy it.
Okay,
Because I'm not spending. I'm cheap.
you've got way more patience than me, man. I couldn't do that for months. Maybe I'll wait a couple of weeks to see if it goes on sale. If not, then it's like, you only live once. Might as well buy it. What you
That's it. Different levels of patience. But what you're saying about the Gucci'd out, Balmain party sessions, is it like, what kind of lifestyle are you living? Tell the audience what kind of lifestyle you're living, because I can't relate to that.
See, the thing is, right, my normal lifestyle is nothing like that. But for this party, because I knew that where it's hosted, the people that are being invited to it, I knew what they were going to do. Everyone's going to dress up. So I was like, if I turn up wearing my everyday stuff, like it's like that subconscious thing where you're like, I don't want to look bad, like less than others.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, I'll be out of place. So I was like, no, I'm just gonna go all out. I don't care. From like top to bottom, I was designed it up. And the reason when I realized it is when I was looking at like other people, obviously you're chilling around, and I was looking at other people, I was like, yo, wow, that dude's or that chick, she's got like that freaking this bag and that. I was like, wow, like all these people are really trying to floss out here. And
She's
then
got the red bottoms. Got the red bottoms.
Exactly, right? And then I looked down and I was like, what the hell am I talking about? I've got my trainers are more expensive than when that hits you. Yeah. Where you're looking at someone else, yo, that dude spent a lot of money. But then I looked down and I was like, my top is more expensive than all of this. Not that I was trying to compare it, but that's when it hit me because I was like, I'm looking at all these people wearing it and I'm like, wow, look at this, look at that. But I'm wearing the same stuff, if not better, and yet it doesn't mean anything to me. So does the value of all these brands, it's only how other people perceive people, if that makes sense? Yeah. I could be wearing like, in that very moment when I was sitting down with like my friends or whatever and be chilling out, right? In that moment, I could have been wearing anything and I would not have been any different. Because that clothing or whatever, it's not an experience, it doesn't give you anything, if that makes sense.
Clothes don't matter. That's your epiphany.
It's not, but that's the thing. It's not just about clothes. It's about so many things, right? There's so many things. Anything that doesn't give you an experience, like you just wear it. If you take something like a watch, for example, right? Like I've got a lot of people in my family who love watches and they're into it. And some of these watches, bro, in the world, like you get like 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 watches, which to me doesn't make any sense because you don't use a watch to tell time. It's purely like a status kind of thing. You're like, oh, I've got like an AP, I've got Richard Mille, I've got whatever. But you're wearing that watch and it doesn't give you any experience. What's the point of it, if that makes sense? A car I can understand because a car you sit inside, you can drive it, you experience it, the speed, the noise, the sound system, like whatever. Like it gives you something, it gives you a buzz. A watch or clothing doesn't. But yet we spend so much money buying that kind of stuff just to look good in other people's eyes.
AZ, man. What a start. What a start to the show. You having your epiphany, bitching about Gucci.
I wasn't bitching about it. I'm in Gucci. I'm more than happy to be a representative. I'm more than happy to receive those boxes once a month of your latest collections. I'm happy for it. I'm happy to
open a Gucci box for like Ryan. I'm like, this is the latest Gucci.
This is the latest Gucci trainers. Go buy them. Use my discount code AZA20. Get 5% off.
I suppose what you said. Swiftly transitioning on to the episode, to the main event. What you link to is kind of everything being open. Going to places, going to parties, going to social occasions. And one thing I'm going to call you out on, all your problems are like West London problems.
Why'd you say that?
Those are West London problems. Like anywhere else in London, no one's going to talk about Gucci, Balmain on a night out.
That is a lie. Have you been to like North London? Have you been to like some parts of North London?
That's a West London problem. I'm going to specifically call you out. That's a West London problem. Like the audience here, wherever you're listening in the world, this is a West London you talking about West London problems.
You're just taking every opportunity to make me sound like some Wayne guy. Like, oh, I'll be going to charity shops there. I'm only buying on sale. Those are like, dude, these are normal problems. Like, I just want to clarify something here. Me and Tinashe are on pretty much the same salary, so it's his cheapness. It's his cheapness that's letting him down. It's not that he's not earning the money. He does. He earns a lot of it. It's his cheapness that's the problem.
All I'm saying is you got West London problems. That's it. Just
I
accept
mean,
it.
I don't know how to take it, but okay, I'll accept
Just
it.
accept it. Like, that's West London problems right there. The world is opening up. What are you doing? Like, what are you thinking about at the moment? Because we've kind of gone through the last 2 years locked up in our houses, in our rooms, recording podcasts from our bedrooms. You know, the world is what's happening. I'm gonna go straight into it, right? So one of the things is going to shows. I do go into a gig or something like that here.
Back to your indie music,
Yeah, all kinds of music. All kinds of music, actually, at AZ. That's a little dig there. I'm going to call you out for that. That's a little dig. I actually went to see Unknown T a few months ago. So that was really good. But what I found is, because everything's opening up here, when I get into large spaces, I feel a little bit claustrophobic. Like, it hits me that I haven't been in such a large space for a long time. And that kind of gives me a little bit like, ooh. At the beginning, I'm feeling like, ooh, I'm not sure if this is comfortable. But then at the end, like, I'm enjoying it. So that's first thing.
Is that because you're still thinking about COVID, or is that just because you're not used to it anymore?
I think I'm not used to it, and my brain is just, we've all been through it. It's like trauma, isn't it? It's a traumatic experience. And now everything's back. Kind of, oh, okay, this guy's...
Do you know what? You say everything's back, but like before, right? Before, if you went to like Central around the Leicester Square area, that was always packed.
West London problems.
It's not, man. This is Central. This is where literally everyone goes for clubbing. I don't go clubbing, but this is where everyone goes for clubbing. So you can't say these are West London problems. These are everyday, normal people, non-cheap people's problems. Like before, when you would go there for a drive, because that's what we normally do. Like if you go around that area, for a drive and just to chill out. But
I just want to drive around West London, yeah.
But it would be buzzing and it would be packed and there would be loads of people. But now, even though things have opened up and they've gone back to normal, because let's be honest, like no one really considers COVID no one really considers COVID and should they be going out and stuff anymore.
Yeah.
It's still very quiet compared to what it was before. And a lot of my friends who do go clubs and stuff, what they say is things are not as busy and as packed as before.
Do you know what it is though? I think people have just got used to not going clubbing, because clubbing, I'm going to say this, I know you're going to take the piss, but clubbing is quite expensive, and people are just used to being in the comfortable spaces that enjoy stuff without really having to spend too much money. And I think that's one of the things where maybe night spots are having difficulties in attracting people, because I'm not going to go into a dark room for 3 hours and spend loads of money if you don't have an experience.
Didn't you go out a couple of weeks ago, you were telling me? So you did go to a dark room to spend a lot of money. See, this is what I mean, right? This is what the audience needs to know. It comes up here and acts all philosophical and grown up and this person who's got everything worked out, right? I am here for the world. I have understood the ways, and my guy just lied to you.
Make the world a better place.
He's lying to you. He's straight up lying. I'm the honest one. See, I say how it is, and then he mocks me, and then he goes out and talks about...
All right. I was out, not necessarily in a dark room. I was out in a...
Still spending money, though?
Yeah, I was out in a bar. But that's not a dark room. You had outdoor spaces in and out. But it was a good experience anyway. So the whole thing is, AZ, I still go out, but I'm not going out in West London. That's it. That's where the difference is.
I wish I was living in a place. I wish I was living in a £10 million house. The way you're talking about West London, it's normal. It's not very different to where you're living. It's more or less the same.
A £10 million house is normal. Yeah, that's calm.
I wish I was there. Honestly, I wish I was there. I would just own the house and be like, "Yep, I am retired. Yeah. I am done with life."
It's going out again, but then it's also the traveling to places as well.
I think that's it.
That's the travel. The travel is so long. I am not willing to get on any kind of transport for more than an hour to get to a place, and an hour back, because that's always in the back of my mind. I'm always I'm gonna need to go back soon.
I'm surprised you didn't say you don't take Uber Executive. The S-Class pulls up, the guy opens the door for you, gives you a little glass of champagne in the back while you sit, and you're sipping on it while you get to your event.
Do you know what? When you look at the prices, sometimes it's not that different. Maybe one day when I...
Oh, so is that an admission coming out that you've been doing the exec travel, yeah? Is that how you justify it to yourself? Oh, the price is not that different. It's only...
One day that will happen. But I think that's the thing, like traveling back to and from places, that's what's really kind of killing the night scene in London. I can only speak for London, right? Because I'm living in London. So anyone else who's living in another part of the world or another part of the UK, chill. This is a very London specific instance, but I'm pretty sure you're going through some stuff. We like and respect you. Please keep listening. I'm not disrespecting any part of the UK. Hey, why are you laughing?
I don't think that disclaimer was needed. I don't think anyone would have I don't think they would have turned around and said, "Oh, these guys are talking about nightlife not being popping. Mine's popping. Screw them. I'm not listening to them ever again."
Hey, you can't alienate the audience and bring them in on the journey. So if you've got any stories, holler at us about your nighttime stories in another part of the world, another part of the country. There's also, talking about the other parts of the world, right? New Zealand, man. They've been going at it from day one. So they've had lockdowns like everyone else, but they've been going out all the time. So everything's been normal for them, pretty much.
And Australia.
Yeah. So they can't relate to this. So shout out to all the people in Australia and New Zealand that are listening. Which come to a grand total of 0, but one day.
One day when you guys are listening to this in a year, make sure you
drop. Thinking about you.
Now that we've said it, if you are listening to this from New Zealand or Australia, drop a comment, no matter what year, what time, and be like, "I am listening to this from New Zealand or Australia," and you're from, and note your time as well. We'll keep a little
feature.
What do they call it? Like a time capsule things, where where you kind of bury the stuff in the ground. So we'll do that as like a digital version. So just keep dropping it in there.
Oh, that's very philosophical there.
No,
you're coming up with some gems today.
Bro, it's the epiphany. I'm a changed man now.
A changed man.
I'm talking rubbish because probably in about 2-3 weeks' time, I'll be like, yeah, ooh, that Versace looks nice.
I'm going to drop me a message. Don't come to West London.
But bro, like next time the thing's happening, I'll invite you. There's another thing though. I think before, obviously, COVID, everyone was used to that. You work your 9 to 5 and then your weekends are to enjoy it. People were like, yeah, you have to go out. You know how people almost become like when you have a routine and you just follow it without even knowing why you're following it. And I think COVID kind of brought a stop to that. So a lot of people who would typically go out every single weekend got a chance to sit back and think like, why am I even doing it? And
why am I out all the time?
Yeah, and I think that's changed a lot of people's perspectives as well, where they're like, I don't really, because I've done 2 years, I'm not doing this, going out every single weekend. Like maybe there's other stuff for me to do, like maybe just chill, like put Netflix on the big TV and have a movie now or something, Because going out is a lot of stress, man. But dressing up, like you said, travel, you go there, come back. Again, I don't go clubbing. I can only talk about going out to say shisha.
Oh, yeah?
Even then.
Oh, yeah?
I don't go clubbing, bro.
Your strong disclaimers are making me think otherwise.
No, I don't. And I'll be honest with you. So I don't drink. And if you go to a club and you don't drink, you will come back and your ears will be buzzing for days and you can't go sleep. And that's the reason why I can't do it.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting kind of perspective to hear.
Yeah, because most people, for example, when you go, you would be drinking, right? So when you come home, you'll be knocked out anyways. So for you, it wouldn't make a difference. But because I don't drink, it's loud music banging into your ears all night. And if you have that for 3-4 hours, you come back and honestly, your ears are buzzing for the whole night. When you lay in your head, on your bed, you can just hear your ears buzzing. And it's really annoying and you can't go to sleep, which is why I can't do it. I honestly couldn't go.
That's an insight that I did not know. It's quite interesting because not drinking and that kind of stuff. Now, you talk about people's routines. Like a lot of people were doing stuff at home anyway. What I did find from some of my friends who were drinking during COVID, they were drinking pretty much on a daily basis, having 1 or 2 beers after work just to relax, right? But the work days became longer because your commute is down. You don't have to commute in the evening. You don't have that much to do because it's either you keep watching Netflix, you read a book, you exercise. There's only so much of that stuff you can do in a week, right? Before you get bored of it. Work sometimes as an escape was quite good. So a lot of people end up working longer hours. And that's where everyone talks about people being more productive. People not necessarily more productive, they spend more time at work or doing work than they would normally do. And that's where people say, people are more productive working from home. And the difficult thing now is you're still expected to do the work, but then there's also in some cases commutes, right? commuting into work. That's making people feel tired. Like I am tired, it's like sometimes, and I'm still getting used to it. So during the weekends, I'm just so tired.
Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I think working from home, becoming the new normal, has been one of the best things that has ever happened in like the normal working life. That, like you were saying, obviously some people are still commuting in, which isn't necessarily the case for me. But that working from home is so good. Like, it's so good. It's unbelievable, man. You're getting that. So my commute was about hour and 15, hour 20 each way. And that's 3 hours a day that you're spending just commuting to your job and back. And having those 3 hours to do other things in your life, or having more time to go to the gym and then maybe chilling out afterwards and not sleeping straight away. And like, just having that is so good, man. It's a complete game changer. And for me personally, like, I know some of these like companies that they're talking about, like, how should we do this, hybrid working, and like, should people be coming back and all that kind of stuff. One thing that I've never understood is, right, this is getting a bit serious again, but you know how they talk about, like,
it's a very serious episode.
they talk about like people sort of learning and development and all that. For me personally, I felt like I've been a lot more productive, not just in terms of hours that you were saying, but like actually more productive doing the work as well. Because I'm sitting in my own environment where I'm comfortable. I'm not in an office. I don't have to wear a suit. I'm not sitting in like a chair for 8-9 hours a day, which isn't very comfortable. Like, I'm in my own environment and I can just work in my pace. And that just helps me do a lot more in that same amount of time.
Yeah, I can see. I think it's also different for different people, because if you're joining a new environment or a new place, sometimes I feel it's helpful to have people around to build that in-person rapport, right? You actually get to see people in 3D.
In real life. In 3D.
Yeah, real life in 3D.
Wow. 3D.
Wow. In 3D. So I believe that helps, being able to see people in person, get to tap them on the shoulder and be like, yo, I have no clue what this is. Can you help me out? So then there's a balance to be struck between working from home and then going into the office. Because I would really hate just never being able to go into the office, especially if people are based in the same city and same country as me, not being able to see them at any point.
See, that's the thing. I don't feel like I need that in-person interaction. I think like things like Zoom and or like just talking to people on whatever chatting system that you use, I think that's more than enough. For me, just going in to see people, like your work colleagues, isn't enough of a reason for me to commute like 3 hours a day. Like, to me, it's just
I think every day. I don't think it's an everyday thing. If you know what I mean, it can't be an everyday thing.
Yeah, I don't think we can ever go back to full-time, going back to the office. Like, I don't think we could ever do that.
It's not happening.
Nah, it's not happening at all.
Away from the topic of work, what else are you doing? Like, what things are opening up? So I want to know, what have you been doing apart from hanging out in West London, going to bougie parties and working from home?
Do you know what? This is going to sound really sad, but not a lot. Like, typically on a work day, after work, you would go to the gym, right? Come back, chill for a bit. Maybe watch...
Get those gains in.
Maybe watch like a series. Yeah, get the gains in. Watch a series. By the way, Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix. Not sure if you've seen it, but freaking amazing. So I would recommend that. So yeah, that's your typical day on the weekends. It's like you get together with friends, maybe go out for food, chill somewhere, or do an activity, go top golf or like go-karting or... But even then, that's not like an every weekend thing. So most of the times, honestly, it's just food and chilling out somewhere.
Yeah.
Which sounds really sad, because like there's not a lot going on in life right now.
Yeah, that's the thing, yeah. Because we're all so excited about everything opening up. But now everything's opened up, you're like, I'm actually just tired.
Yeah.
I just want to rest and relax. But one thing I found with everything opening up is I've started to see more family, see more friends. I'm making a conscious effort to see family and friends because, you know, went for so long without seeing them. But in terms of activities are there all the time. I think what's one of the perks if you're living in a big city is you actually have to go, no, I can't go to that event. I really want to go, but I can't. So there's a few things like in London, like museums that do it. So the Tate Modern do like later at the Tate. It's quite sick actually. It just opens up in the evening. I want to go there a few times, but it's on a Friday. I'm tired. I'm done. I don't want to walk around a museum at night on a Friday.
Yeah, especially on a Friday. Where Friday's kind of like my week's ending, and I just want to go home and not really do much and just be lazy and lie on the sofa for a bit. You know what I mean?
But I think
Unless you have
that's it,
something like specially planned. Fridays are like probably the worst days to just go out and go to a museum in this case.
Yeah, it's chill, but everything's opening up. Things are opening up, but festivals as well. Though people are excited about festivals.
By people, you mean
That's
you?
the
Because
one.
you're the type of guy.
Yes, it's me. They're just excited though. Like, there's a buzz around it. But I think it's like quite exciting, right? Because a lot of artists have gone through lockdown and not really had the opportunity to perform. So when they're coming out with their new music, which is decent, but the music sets are just incredible, man. I've been to a few, and I'm telling you, AZ, like the scenery is so good. It's like watching a film, like the visuals that they've got, you know, in the background. They have the light show, the displays, the sound, everything just sounds epic. So if anyone's got a favorite artist that they would like to see, I recommend going to see them soon, because they've still got that energy, that buzz of being, oh, I wasn't allowed to perform for the last 2 or 3 years, but now I'm back performing again. Because I think artists, a lot of the times, go through the motions. It's a bit like everyone. Sometimes at work, you go through the motions. You have a good day, you have a bad day. But they've effectively had a 3-year holiday. Not quite holiday, a 3-year break from doing what they love to do the most. So now, when they're coming back, they're more energetic. They're not going through the motions. They're just grateful to see people. And when they're performing, it's amazing.
Give an example. Who have you seen with a really good set that's really been like, wow, okay, this is like different?
I saw Foles, funnily enough. Their light show was incredible. Their set was incredible. Even like the audience, like people were just excited to see them because they're all big fans, right? So people just singing along. Everyone was like talking to each other. There was a like real excitement, which it's always been there, but it feels a little bit different. I think people are a bit more friendly now. They're more willing to talk to people as a result of being locked up for so long. They're more willing to engage in conversations randomly with strangers. That's what I'm finding, at least anyway.
Do you know what? I hate to burst your bubble, but I don't know who Folds are.
I've told you this before, and I've sent you like loads of songs, and you have not listened to them. That is your fault here. You haven't done your research, man. That is.
Do you know what? I guarantee you. Here's another one for the listeners. Go to the comment without googling who the Folds are, and
let's get
whoever they are. Like, just go in the comments without googling them. Let us know if you guys know who they are or not. Because I can't be the only one, bro. You've got some weird indie music. Like, I don't get you, man.
Look, we're not all in West London.
What does that have to do with it?
All the time. I don't know. We're not all at the Gucci, Louis Vuitton parties. Okay, that's the thing. But anyway, that's what I'm finding at the moment. Everyone's buzzing. Everyone's excited. I highly recommend doing that. If you've got a favorite artist, go and see them breathe.
There's the wisdom from Grandmaster Tinashe coming out. Go watch your favorite artist. How much commission are you earning? Like, are you like signed up to like Live Nation or someone? Like, do you have a deal with it?
Well, breaking news actually.
What I'm saying is, if you are, and I'm not getting any free tickets, then that's going to be an issue.
I thought you didn't like the shows. That's it.
A free ticket, bro.
One of the other things as well. And the thing I'm finding, I don't know about you per se, it's like a lot has been lost in lockdown. I was listening to some stories. Someone said I was watching Love Island the other day, and
I love how you tried to cover it up with
someone said
I heard some stories.
I heard some stories. I was watching Love Island, right? And I got told
I'm just gonna act like I'm not disappointed here, but yeah, go on.
Oh, you can be as disappointed as you want. There's a person called Gemma Owen, Michael Owen, right? The former England international.
Yeah, I've heard about. Yeah, I've
big
heard that
baller, shot caller. There's a Ballon d'Or winner as well.
I wouldn't call him a shot caller, but yeah.
Yeah, it was good. So his daughter is on Love Island. So she was 16 when we went into lockdown, and she's now 19. So she's gone from being a teenager to being a
19 is a teenager as well.
Yeah, still a teenager, but going from
Sorry to ruin your point there. I know what you're trying to say, and you're gonna have like a big saying, but you're still a teenager.
I had a big moment. I fumbled the bag there.
You fumbled it hard, bro. You choked
I fumbled it hard. Anyway, let's take two. Gemma Owen was 16 when she went into lockdown. No, she couldn't go out. She couldn't buy alcohol. But now coming out of lockdown, she's 19. She's able to go out to clubs. She's able to buy alcohol. She's had a whole year as a full-grown adult, but still a teenager. It's been a lot of time. People have lost a lot of time because of COVID, right? Your life effectively became static. Your human development became stunted. So things you're supposed to experience in life in general, you didn't have those opportunities. No, the memories to be able to build over that time because you're just at home. I'm pretty sure people had some fun at home in lockdown, but it's not the same as living life, is it?
Yeah, I think especially like people, I feel like people who were going to uni around that time, like they've really missed out.
Oh,
because they've not had that uni experience, having your classes on Zoom and just doing it from home. You don't actually get to experience university life, which I think for them would be a big miss. So I do feel for them, that's probably like some of the best time that you will have in your life, and for that to be taken away from you. Yeah, that's got to be a little peak.
Yeah, you need a refund. Go and ask for a refund.
Or you could do another degree, but then that's like another 3 years of your life. So I'm not sure if it's worth it.
Yeah, you lose it. You're almost losing double the time. Pursue your dreams. Stay in education is your thing.
I think everyone just wants to get paid. So I don't think many people are sticking around.
So many disclaimers. Then the most fundamental thing, right? We've lost out on experiences. And for me at the moment, I'm kind of going, what else has been affected? So have people lost potential relationships because they were locked down and they ended up arguing so much? Or did they gain relationships because they were locked in? They're like, I just love you, man. I just love spending time with you. That's also another element, right? So that's, now that we're coming out, what's really happening to people's relationships? And do you now have an expanded social circle because you want to meet everyone? Or is it just quite limited because you just don't really, you've really got a set list of people that you want to see? I think this will come out in the next few years in terms of what's the actual impact. Because there's a lot of children that were born during lockdown, and effectively 1 to 2 years were in lockdown, and they don't know how to interact with other adults. Is that going to mess them up for the future when they're all grown up, because they didn't have those kind of fundamental building blocks which we all had, which is being able to hang out with family, friends, other young children when you're like 2 or 3 or whatever.
And I reckon once you get out there, couple years in, obviously like now things are opening up once they go back to school and like kind of engage with people. I think they won't be impacted as much as we think, because again we are like the environment that we're in, we adapt to it quite quickly for most people. So as that kind of changes, they'll just get more and more used to it, and I reckon they'll be fine.
The human mind's quite resilient in general. It's quite adaptive. But I'm still bitter that I've missed out on time.
Yeah, because it's almost like 2 years of your life have been taken away from you. Not to be ungrateful, because obviously people are in much worse situations or whatnot. This is not to sound like you're like, oh, life has been tough. But yeah, in a way, you missed out quite a lot in those 2 years. Like, think about the holidays and things that you could have done, different moments in your life that you could have had, but you didn't because everything was shut down.
I love how you went straight to the holidays, bro. You're always about the holidays.
Holidays are a must, man. Need to get
gratitude is a must, and in the words of AZ, holidays are a must.
Holidays are a must. Like, you need to get away from your day-to-day life.
Yeah, just that West London life here.
just to recharge yourself, man. Bro, I'm telling you, this Gucci Louis life ain't easy. It's not easy, man. It's difficult.
There's that song, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. No?
Yeah, but I'm not part of that gang, so.
Yeah. Conveniently, just drop your Gucci loyalties. But that, AZ, I think that's it, really. What we've covered. We've covered your epiphany, you being out and about in West London, exposing yourself as a bougie West Londoner.
Thanks.
No returns, yeah? No returns.
No, I'll get you back, don't worry. I'm not forgetting this. It's forgive, not forget. I'm not forgetting this. I'm sure I'm going to have my moment. Go out here talking about charity shops and all humble and stuff and lying to people about, I don't want to spend money, what's smart and all.
Support charity shops, vintage shops, eco-friendly shops. Support that, man.
All I'm saying is, right, you're setting yourself up to be called out. So,
when I turn up to like in a Burberry top.
One day, right, when you don't expect it, like when you least expect it, that's how I'm going to call you out and be like, yo, do you know what? This is what you said on the 12th of June, 2022. You're a liar. And I've got proof. Maybe like a court case. That's it, man. That's it for this episode. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, StatPad, Loop.
All that kind of stuff.
Replay, and more replay.
And go out there, support the economy. The cost of living is tough, you know.
Thanks, Boris.
Thank you very much for listening.
Bye.